Welcome to SHA, the Sound Healers Association, founded by Jonathan Goldman in 1982, bringing education and awareness of the use of sound and music for healing and transformation. SHA features presentations by founding pioneers in the modern sound healing field, and we have a sound healing directory allowing you to list your work or find practitioners and teachers. There's a monthly online meeting, a blog, a vast resource of articles, and much more. SHA, the Sound Healers Association, is dedicated to bringing harmony to the world of sound.
Okay, here we go, and we're jumping in now. And again, I'm Steve Farrell with Humanities Team. I'm here in Boulder, Colorado. I live near my dear friend Jonathan Goldman and his wife Andi, and it's my pleasure to be here just to introduce Jonathan and Andi as this program starts. So, and of course, this is a sound satsang, and it's a monthly program now that Humanities Team is really grateful to be producing each and every month with Jonathan and Andi. So thanks for being with us. I think you're going to have a fantastic time. Let me just want to read a brief introduction here as we get started. So Jonathan and Andi Goldman are a powerful pair in the world of conscious living and sound healing. Jonathan is an internationally recognized authority, pioneer, and author in sound healing. Andi is a licensed psychotherapist who utilizes holistic treatment and sound healing. Both are highly respected leaders in the sound healing and spiritual music community. Andi and Jonathan have co-written 2 books together, Chakra Frequencies and The Humming Effect. And again, I'll just share, when we came out a moment ago, Jonathan and I were sharing that sound healing is really taking off as it should, because it is, as we're creating conscious living in the world, sound healing is a big role. It's an incredibly useful device. And you're looking at the man here, Jonathan Goldman, who got this whole thing started, was called to it at an early age, and hooray, thank God he was, because look where sound healing is today. And my pleasure, Jonathan, to turn this over to you.
Steve, what a blessing. Thank you, and hello, everyone, and welcome to this, the September 2025 Sound Satang. I am Jonathan Goldman, and
I am Andi Goldman, and we are delighted that you all are joining us tonight for our September Sound Satsang. And I do want to mention that today is the equinox, so there's a lot of just really powerful energy happening. And before I jump in to tell you what we're going to be talking about tonight, I do want to give a quick shout out to the International Day of Peace, which happened yesterday. And it's sponsored by the UN. It's been going on since 1981. And I think about all the peace that was emitted onto our planet yesterday throughout the world. And today, the equinox is just going to amplify that even more.
nice. And indeed, we are a satsang. We are a conscious group of beings who work with sound, with light and love to really shift the vibrations of the planet. And what a blessing it is. I'm going to make a note that for those of you who want to basically get somehow announcements about this and find out through us, go to the Healing Sounds website, healingsounds.com, and just join our mailing list and you get all the info. So for those who are requesting that, well, what an extraordinary time. So welcome. Andi, what do we got planned for tonight? Because I'm so excited.
Well, we're extra excited tonight because our main topic is going to be sound and crystals. And we are going to talk about how and why crystals are used for healing and transformation and their extraordinary relationship with sound. We are going to be taking you on a musical journey through the sonic landscape of quartz crystals. And we're really, really looking forward to that, excited about that. We are going to talk about the equinox and the astrological highlights. And we will end our program tonight with our global sound healing meditation for personal and planetary healing on this beautiful energy of the equinox.
Indeed.
So, Jonathan, what I want to say is one of the reasons we're so excited about our topic tonight is because there seems to have been almost a resurgence in the interest of crystals. I know we've both worked with crystals since back in the 80s,
Right.
and now there seems to be a really big interest. And of course, we want to connect that up with sound. So, Jonathan.
Indeed. And I'm going to suggest that on one level, it's so interesting in a lot of movies and whatnot, to try to make fun of people with, who are into exploring alternate consciousness. They go, oh yeah, he plays with crystals or she plays with crystals, and it's all woo-woo. Well, it's not, folks. It's not. But I want to begin my story. Can I?
Oh, yes.
All right.
Please.
Back in, probably 1979, 1980, I had my first experience with quartz crystals. I had my first experience with sound. It was the same one. I went to a workshop shortly after a major download happened, and a woman named Sarah Benson was teaching healing with sound. And at the very end of it, I was literally placed in the center of a circle of about 30, 40 people, and they were chanting my name, and I was holding a crystal, very much like this. I was sitting there, held the crystal in my chest, listened as the sound resonated with me, and all of a sudden I was taken out of my body, and I found myself in a amethyst pyramid in the woods. It was an incredible experience. And when I finally came back to my body, I thought, well, I got to find out more about this. And by this I meant quartz crystals and sound. And I began to then study with both major pioneering teachers of sound and pioneering teachers of quartz crystals. So it's going to be a pleasure to share this, because I used to teach this in the mid-1980s. I taught sound and crystals together, and then for the most part, not so much. So this is the first time I'm sort of coming out of the closet with regard to crystals and sound. It's a powerful, powerful topic.
And Jonathan, let me tell our audience actually what quartz crystals are.
What are crystals, Andy?
Crystals are composed of silicon dioxide. And silicon dioxide is actually the most common compound found on our planet. And for instance, if you are walking along a beach and you're feeling that sand underneath your feet, this is all particles of silicon dioxide. Now, we're going to be talking tonight about quartz crystals, and quartz crystals are actually pure silicon dioxide. And so these quartz crystals have been around for a very, very long time. They've been on our earth, of course, for millennia, and using them for healing and meditation really goes back a long way. In fact, I discovered that they were used way back in ancient times by the Sumerians in ancient Mesopotamia. So quartz crystals have been with us for a long time, and I'm sure they will continue to be with us. Now, I want to talk about for just a moment some of the scientific aspects of quartz crystals. And quartz crystals are able to transduce energy, transduce or change energy. Now, they also, in addition to this, are able to encode information. So these are powerful, powerful tools for healing. Now, they also emit the piezoelectric effect. And what that means is that when we put pressure on a crystal or we rub the crystals together, they will produce an electricity, basically.
Yeah.
And they also have
Acoustoluminescence, which means that they will take the pressure wave, the sound wave, and turn it not only to electricity, but into light. And mind you, this is quartz crystals. Crystal chips were found in computers. They're the basis, in fact, of computers. So all of you into AI, man, you're dealing with crystals on a level. And also, we would have no sort of stereo systems if it weren't for crystals because of the piezoelectric effects. I'm not going to go into the grooves of how early records would use, but the electrical impulse was transmitted and turned into sound, etc. And the other one, the crystalloluminescence, well, these actually, I found these again. They were used in my workshops when I used to teach sound and crystals, because I would demonstrate basically rubbing these crystals together, and you can't see it. But if I turned out these lights, and I can't because then
we would lose everybody.
it would be total blackness. But if you saw it, there would be a glow happening within these crystals. It wasn't caused by the friction of rubbing against each other. There's no heat produced. There's a cold glow inside. It's almost as though there would be a flashlight, a little flashlight bulb inside of here that was glowing and lighting up the crystal. And this is just an amazing thing.
Well, I wonder if that was what was used for prehistoric flashlights, Jonathan.
You know?
It's a possibility.
Well, they've been used in lots of different traditions,
yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. So quartz crystals also have the ability to give off negative ions. Now, these are those wonderful ions that we experience when we are in nature. And it's interesting because quartz crystals have this, and seem to have this innate ability to send out those negative ions and also to absorb the positive ions. Now, positive ions are the ones we don't want, so I know that's
they
a little
create
bit
inflammation, among other things.
Yeah.
And for example, just rushing water or whatnot also generates this. And of course, there's less scientific data about this, but we know it's true because on a level, well, I'm going to tell you a story. May I jump in right now?
Sure.
Okay. My second experience with quartz crystals, I was at a psychic fair, and someone basically said, choose a crystal. They had a little basket. I chose one, very much like this. In fact, this may have been the one. It may have reappeared. Tiny, small little crystal, and I held it in my hand. They did a reading for me. And I said, oh, great, thank you very much. Here's the crystal back. No, that's yours. So my first crystal was gifted to me. And I went home, and I did something. I banged my wrist, and it hurt. And I basically took the crystal, and I just simply put it on my wrist, which is the area of pain. And in about a minute, the pain went away. And I was like, what's up? What's happening here? Somehow I was guided to basically take the crystal, put it under running water, and what that did was clear the crystal, the energy of the crystal, because as Andi was saying, crystals can transmit and they can receive energy. And what you want to do when you're working with crystals is make sure that they are sort of cleared or neutralized of imbalanced energies that can be absorbed. And there are a lot of different ways of clearing crystals. You can use light, you can use breath, you can put it in the sunlight, you can put it in the moonlight, you can put it in salt water, or you can use sound. And so I really like to do that, and it's one of the things that we just want to, even if you're just wearing a crystal, it's always good. I like to rinse off my crystal or do something so that any imbalanced energies that it may have absorbed get released, so that, if you like, it's just very, very important for us to be clear and for the things around us, particularly crystals which amplify energy.
Well, and that means that actually crystals can be programmed with our thoughts. And so we can use them for healing. We can use them for meditation. And what I want to do, that sort of brings me to wanting to talk about one of the major pioneers in the field of crystal healing. And that was a man by the name of Marcel Vogel. Many of you have probably heard of Marcel Vogel. He was a research scientist at IBM way back in the 60s and the 70s. And one of his greatest achievements was his invention or his development of what we now call Vogel crystals. And these Vogel crystals are they're world renowned because they are used by crystal healers around the world because of their exceptional ability to channel energy and to work with healing and meditation.
And I'm going to say something I should have said at the very beginning. I don't know that I did. This is just an intro to the subject of sound and crystals because it's so immense. So we're going to basically be mentioning some things, and perhaps at some later dates we will go more into it because there's literally weeks and months of material that we can share. But I just want to say, so this is a Vogel crystal. This is an actual Vogel crystal. Vogel crystals are now used as a term for any crystal that is cut. But this is one that actually Marcel Vogel's son cut. He was actually a better crystal cutter than his dad was, and this is beautiful. And the energy comes out like this. Works as sort of a wand, as an etheric wand. And Marcel and the people that he trained would basically teach you how to use crystals for etheric surgery. I'm not really going to demonstrate it now, except that there is a beam of energy that, as I'm here, I can feel it going against my, and boy, I'm wondering if we can see it in the screen or whatnot, but that's going in, and you can, and it goes out to the front, but also the energy comes out all different levels. It's not just unidirectional, but this is just a way that crystals can certainly work as a phenomena.
Well, and speaking of Marcel Vogel, one of his famous quotes is, "Crystals act as holographic computers of the mind." And what this actually means is that our minds can act, our thoughts amplify the energy of crystals. And so we can utilize crystals by, really programming thoughts of healing, thoughts of love, all of those really beautiful negative ion energies that we love.
And more. And
Yeah.
indeed, it's so interesting because, as Andy said, they amplify our thoughts. What a powerful construct that is. So if you like, they amplify consciousness, and they can be used as wands, as I demonstrated, or this one is actually an ancient Atlantean healing meditation crystal that I got from another fellow named Frank Alper, who did something called the Atlantean chants. But once again, you can put them on your third eye. You can use them for meditation. You can use them for healing. They are great vehicles. You can take them and put even little ones in specific geometric forms, and it'll create a field that can be a force field. It can be it can do all sorts of interdimensional traveling tools. So it's just a great thing.
Oh, and speaking of being programmed, let's go into how we can use sound in relationship to crystals, because the sound is going to amplify also the properties and the programming of the crystal. And of course, speaking of sound and crystals, we have to start out with crystal bowls, because they are very, very popular and they are utilized in such beautiful ways for sound and healing. they emit such a beautiful, pure sound. And what happens when we hear crystal bowls, we go into a balancing mode. We can release stress. We become relaxed. And what happens when we're in that state? Healing can happen. So crystal bowls are wonderful implements working with sound and crystals. Now, I do want to mention that they do not emit the piezoelectric effect, however.
That's because crystal bowls and other tools that are crystal oriented are, for the most part, there's probably 1 in a million that are, somebody took a quartz hunk of quartz and literally carved it out. But these are literally silicon sand, pure silicon sand that is heated to around 4,000 degrees, and then it is shaped and formed, and it solidifies, and it's much more like glass. And while it emits a wonderful tone, it's not going to create electricity or light. If you are playing with your bowl and you're seeing it manifest light, that's probably coming from you.
Hey, all these light beings out there working with crystal bowls. Another way that sound works beautifully with crystals is what we call crystal singing. And this is when we can actually tone into the crystal and resonate it with specific vocal harmonics.
And indeed, last Sound Satsang, we talked about vocal harmonics. I didn't bring in quartz crystals, but I will share that as I was learning to do vocal harmonics 40 years ago or more, I was also working with quartz crystals. And one day I began to sing, to intone harmonics into a crystal, and they became louder. And it was pretty extraordinary. And I tried different crystals, and the harmonic was different and louder. And I was something like,
demonstrate.
just a little demo.
Yeah.
And at some point, if you're interested in learning to do harmonics, there are ways of doing it, etc. But this is basically what it'd be like. And if I was using it for healing, I'd be pointing this at someone and go, I don't know if you can hear the harmonics that are being generated, but it was very powerful. So there's a sound coming out, but the sound also working with, if you like, crystalline light energy. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty interesting. And I called Marcel Vogel, and I said, Marcel, this is what happens. I'm sounding these harmonics into a crystal, and it's amplifying it. And he said to me, well, congratulations, young man, which I was at the time. Congratulations, young man, you have rediscovered an ancient Atlantean healing technique. I thought, wow, way cool. So that's just another much more advanced way of doing it, but it's an incredibly powerful technique that we did used to teach in our Healing Sounds Intensives.
Right. And, with vocal harmonics, too, if anybody is interested in learning more about vocal harmonics, I do want to just give a quick little shout out to our new Harmonics Journey online course with Alex Sims, who is, and Jonathan Goldman.
On the Healing Sounds website. Yeah. Very cool.
But also, I'll talk about sound and crystals with tuning forks. When we combine crystalline energy with the frequencies of tuning forks, the sound amplifies the programming of the crystal. And we've got a demonstration for you.
And this is a particular tuning fork that is cut to a frequency found by a fellow by the name of John Worrell Keeley, who was, if you like, the acoustic equivalent of what Nikola Tesla was to electricity. And I found in this book this series of frequencies, and one of them was for quartz crystals. And it was literally in the 30,000 plus cycles per second mode. So what I did was, using what is called octave reduction, I basically reduced that by the number 2 a number of times and came up with a tuning fork. And this tuning fork seems to work really well to work with quartz crystals and work you can resonate the pineal. I'll just give a little thing. Let's see if you can hear it. Wait, I'll tell you what, it's good enough for me, but I'm going to hit this on this and see if it even works better. Another shot. I hope you can hear that a little bit. It's and we call this the crystal resonator. The crystal resonator is what we do. But this is a nice little one, and you can also use it for clearing your field and whatnot. And I like it, but on one level, as we'll talk about in a minute, quartz crystals can resonate to any frequency. So there are other ways of using quartz crystals because they're not. This may be one of the best, but there are others that can be used.
Well, and I do want to mention, talking about tuning forks, we have got these crystal feet, and I want to say thank you to Dr. John Beaulieu, who is also an expert in sound and crystals.
Oh yeah,
and
a dear friend, of course.
A dear friend. And anyway, these crystal feet, so to speak, go on the tip of the tuning fork.
Right.
And I think we have, yes, oh good.
Okay, so here's the crystal foot, and you attach it over here. And John gave me one, and I just loved it. And we then found a source that did this. And the idea is that you hit the crystal, and it's best with the ones that have these little things at the end, because these usually fall within what is called the vibroacoustic realm. So then you use it, and you hit it, and you put it on your body, perhaps here. And I love putting tuning forks on the body for this phenomena, but with the crystal, it is just, for me, it really amplifies not only the sound, and perhaps piezoelectric effect would be coming through, because these are indeed real quartz crystals. These they're shaped through a machine, but they are actual quartz crystals, and you can use it for different things. And I use this. This is great. I use this all the time. I'm not going to do a healing for myself, folks, but this is another way of using them. Yeah.
So there's so many different ways that we can utilize sound and crystals. But Jonathan, I am right now very eager to share that musical journey that I mentioned, where we're going to take our audience through the sonic landscape of quartz crystal. And what I'd like to do before we talk about that is also give a shout out to another dear friend, Don Campbell, who is no longer with us. However, Don created a beautiful musical selection called Crystal Meditations, where he had the idea of going into an actual quartz crystal with sound. And then, Jonathan, I think you discovered that and found something else and added to it.
What happened was that that was one of the first releases from the Spirit Music label back in the 1980s. Wonderful recording. And then it sort of disappeared in the realms of cassettes, if you like, and it never got put on a CD effectively. And then a friend of mine recently dug this cassette out. He basically sent it to me as a digital file. I thought, well, this is really cool. It was clear, it was great, and I wanted to hear what it sounded like. So I basically took this digital file, which is composed of two sides of the cassette. One side was called Crystallite, and Don describes that as a portrayal of thousands of small quartz crystals in an embryonic form, reflecting themselves in the ocean of sound. The other side was called Crystalla, which is, Don said it was a large quartz crystal slowly revolving. Each time it reflects the sound of light with a different quality. I was like, very cool. One of my favorite recordings, I put them both on two different tracks of a multi-track machine. And then I forgot to mute one of the tracks. So I wanted to listen to each of them. And instead, they both came out at the same time, which had never happened. I mean, I produced it and did all this stuff, but I'd never had the thought, idea, or ability to do it like that. And I listened to it and I went, wow, this is very cool. They were in the same key and they just really resonated together. So I put them together and I said, well, this is a new, if you like, recording. So I called it Crystal Matrix, and that's what you're about to hear.
I can't wait.
And just as a little quick thing, it is now fabulous. It's a powerful time. We are in the energy of the equinox. I think for those of the Jewish tradition, this may be the beginning of Rosh Hashanah. There's all sorts of fabulous energy going on. So as we listen to this, before Andy does an astrological assessment, just see what this feels like and really put your highest level encodement of light and love through sound for your own purpose. What do you want to create on this, the autumnal equinox? Russell, sir, can we go there? It's really nice.
Well, are we
Yeah.
back?
That's and it's amazing how those two different pieces worked really well together. It was like pretty interesting. So yeah, hello Don. I trust you enjoyed that. And
From the other side.
all right, Andy, it is time to go into our astrological assessment.
Jonathan, I have to say that I really so much enjoyed that feeling. Really am still sort of resonating in that quartz crystal. It was quite lovely. Thank you for creating that, Jonathan. So, with that beautiful energy, I would like to now go into talking about the equinox. So, happy equinox to everyone. We are in the energy of the equinox that actually occurred here for us in Colorado in the mountain time zone at 12:19 this afternoon, just a little after the noon hour. And so wherever you might be on the planet, you can adjust your time zone, but we are in the energy of the equinox. And of course, here in the northern hemisphere, we are moving into, it is the autumnal equinox. We are moving into the season of fall. In the southern hemisphere, it is the vernal equinox. We are moving into springtime in the southern hemisphere. So no matter where we are, however, we are experiencing the equinox. And what that means is today we have got equal day and equal night. And of course, that highlights balance. And it brings balance into our consciousness. And also today is when the sun actually moved into the sign of Libra. And Libra is all about balance. And of course, the glyph for the sign of Libra is actually the scales. And so we are actually stepping into now a sacred moment of balance. And of course, with that being said, with this change of seasons, it always does invite us to pause and reflect. So let us take a look at our own lives and look at where that balance may be a little bit off. And because it is the autumnal equinox here in Colorado, and I see the leaves are falling from the trees, they're dropping to the ground. And then I think to myself, what is it that I need to drop? What can I let go of? What are those old patterns that I want to let go of? What are those worn out stories that we tell ourselves? This energy of the equinox is such a beautiful time to really go into that place inside and decide what you want to get rid of and what you want to keep. So we have an opportunity that we can now look at being aligned with nature. We can align our inner nature. So the equinox gives us a chance, I think, to reconnect with our soul's purpose. It gives us a chance to reconnect with our inner truth, our true nature, if you will. And so it's a time to reset. So let's think about where we can reset. It's a beautiful time to set intentions and to set those intentions that really will align us with our highest nature. So with astrology, there's never one event that happens at a time. So we've got the equinox, of course, that's a major event. But just yesterday, we had a new moon solar eclipse. So taking these two events together, we have got some pretty potent, powerful energy. They strengthen each other. And when this eclipse yesterday was in the sign of Virgo, and when we are in eclipse season, what happens is eclipses do tend to shine a light on that which is hidden. So it's as though the veils are lifted and these hidden aspects are illuminated. And we get to take a look at that. Now, it could be challenging. Who knows? Because sometimes looking at our shadow can be. But the solstice energy is a real gift because it gives us an opportunity for healing. So it's a dynamic duo that is happening right now, and it does prompt us to make those necessary changes. So the eclipse yesterday was in the sign of Virgo, and that highlights our health, order, purification, our daily routine, and of course, with it being in the sign of Virgo, which happens to be my sign, and I kind of chuckle and go, it's time to clear the clutter. It's time to clear the clutter, not only physically, but emotionally, mentally. It's like, let's get rid of what is no longer serving us in our highest good. So let us, and one last thing, I know we're running out of time here for this, but one last thing, we do have the outer planets of Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn are all retrograde, encouraging us yet again to pause and reflect and go inside. So let's take advantage of this big time, this cosmic reset, and go into those themes that I've talked about, which happen to be balance, new beginnings, time for change, and let us fully embrace this alignment right now with nature and feel the true magnificence of us as human beings aligned with nature. So, in conclusion, may we just all experience this equinox filled with inner peace, purpose, and renewal. Thank you.
Nice, Andi. Thank you. And real quick, we're going to be doing our global guided Om in a moment, but I just want to make, if you like, a statement that we can't deal with all the questions that are on chat and all that stuff. We can't multitask. So we basically see them popping up. And if you have a question for us, we will send it to us at info@healingsounds.com. And we will answer you. And any suggestions or thoughts or questions, we will answer you on that one. So please do that. Now, info@healingsounds.com.
Okay.
Our global guided Om, not much to say about this, except the fact that it is basically encoded with all sorts of powerful psychoacoustic frequencies that help put us in a really deep state. We basically, Andi does a guided meditation which will bring us on to a state of heart-brain coherence that will amplify our electromagnetic field. And talking about heart-brain coherence, intention is so important when you're working with crystals. If they amplify thought forms, if they amplify our brain, then we really want to be projecting positive intentionality into them. And actually, I'm going to hold on to this as we do this guided meditation, and we project our sound encoded with light and love to our beloved planet on this powerful, powerful energetic field of the equinox. So I want you all to make sounds with us as we do this, and then we'll be here when we come back. And how about that?
Yeah, and I want to encourage everyone in the guided meditation. I'll guide you each step of the way in terms of heart-brain coherence and opening the electromagnetic field around our heart. But when we get to the part where we begin to sound and tone out loud, please do that with us out loud wherever you might be. And remember not to strain your voice and just to be in your comfort zone.
Nice. So happy equinox. See you soon. Let's do this. What a blessing. Thank you. Russell?
The purpose for this meditation is to project a sound encoded with the energies of light and love and project healing, to the Gaia matrix, our beloved planet Earth. We will first create coherence between our heart and our brain. This effect will further be amplified by the power of the Om that you will be toning along with later, bringing more light and love into your body, mind, and spirit for health and wellness. And now, begin to focus on your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly breathing in and out. And as you're breathing in and out, imagine or visualize that you're breathing in and out through your heart. As you're breathing in and out through the area of your heart, remembering that it is love that breathes each breath, and it is love that causes each beat of our heart. Continue breathing slowly, breathing in and out in this manner. And now, I'd like you to call to mind something that has brought you a great deal of appreciation, gratitude, something that you are feeling very good about. This might be an experience with another person. Perhaps it's a beautiful sunset. It may be a beloved pet, a spouse. But it is something that has brought you loving kindness and gratitude and appreciation. And as you're breathing in and out through your heart, feeling this appreciation, feeling this gratitude, you're creating a beautiful coherence between your heart and your brain. And your heart, through this coherence, is expanding, getting larger and larger, and connecting with all the heart and loving energy on our planet in this moment. This is just a wonderful way of creating a very powerful heart activation, and you'll be amplifying this with the sound of the Om. Continue breathing slowly and deeply while feeling appreciation and gratitude, and imagining your breath going in and out through your heart. Now, visualize this energy and begin to sense a radiant light around you that is permeating every cell of your body and resonating your heart chakra. In a moment, we'll begin to gently sound forth with the power of the Om. And as you do this, visualize the planet Earth as a holographic image floating in front of you. Imagine bathing the Earth in a healing field of light and love that you are creating through your sacred sound. Now, let us begin to make the heart sound of the Om, bringing the energy of global harmonization, peace, and healing to our beloved planet, Earth. And now, one last time. Now, being in silence, visualizing all the light and love through sound that you have manifested, resonating and bringing to earth and yourself to a deep state of healing. And when you feel ready, open your eyes and know that you have contributed to personal and planetary healing. Welcome back.
Yikes.
Oh,
That was powerful.
Yes, what a lovely energy on this equinox. Thank you all for being with us and joining us for this meditation tonight.
And like a quartz crystal, we're basically able to project energy and do it not only as a laser-like thing, as a wand, but also a field effect, a quantum field effect. So what a blessing. And this is just great. We so much enjoy doing this with you. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to suggest again, if you have any questions, info@healingsounds.com. Go to the Healing Sounds website. There's also a contact us way of doing it, but it's just great. And
yes, we are grateful. I feel like I just programmed this crystal.
Totally.
So much love.
It's just
I know.
vibrating.
That was
it's
great.
very, very cool. And this will be, we trust, the first of a number of different teachings on quartz crystals and sound. It's great. And remember, as you believe, so the crystal will behave. So just be aware of that one.
So once again, really thank you, each and every one of you, for taking time out of your busy days to be with us tonight. It has been our honor and our joy to be here with you for this Sound Satang tonight in the equinox energy. And I also would like to say a very special thank you once again to Humanity's team for producing our program,
And to
and to
Russell.
Russell, who is that man behind the curtain who is
Totally.
really wonderful, and to the Sound Healers Association and Healing Sounds. So we are all in our community of love and light through sound together.
And to all the beings of light and love through sound that work with us, we are going to be definitely doing a sound satsang on every one of the celestial events, meaning that definitely the next planned one is going to be
The solstice.
winter solstice. We may do others. Once can keep in touch. We love doing these, and they're a little bit of work, so thank you for this opportunity to resonate with us. Keep in touch with us. Any suggestions you have, let us know, because this is a wondrous community, and we're so blessed to be resonating with you all.
So on this equinox energy, no matter where you are in the world, in the northern hemisphere or the southern hemisphere, just so many blessings of love and light through sound to everyone on this potent, powerful energy.
Thank you. Blessings of light and love through sound. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.